The one thing jealous, miserable people do not understand is that the more they attack you, the more they hurt themselves. The more they seek to make other people's lives miserable, the more miserable their life is going to be. Do you ever notice that the people who are often the most jealous, the most envious, they walk around putting up a facade as if they are happy, as if they are, they have it all together. You might see a lot of social media posts from them where they are, taking pictures of themselves on the daily with some kind of fake inspirational post. But when you see them in person, they are the absolute most miserable person you will ever meet. And those are often the people who are offering up unsolicited advice to you. Those are often the people telling you, oh, everything's going to be great. Just be positive, while they spread their misery. Those type of people often like to project their insecurities onto you because they're miserable. They will attack you because they are not fulfilled in their own lives. I cannot tell you how many times I have dealt with people who try to so-called therapize me while they are in their misery. Meanwhile, you could be living a very stable life, a very decent life. You don't have a lot of turmoil. You don't have a lot of drama. You don't have a lot of issues. But the people who are the messiest, they are the ones giving unsolicited advice. People like that, you really have to pity because they don't understand. The more they try to come at you, the more they try to make you their project, the more they're showing their insecurity, the more they're showing that they're actually going through something themselves. There are people out here trying to help other people heal when they are very much broken. They feel like their facade and the image they put up, that performance they put on for the public, is fooling someone. And because of that, they try to come at you as if they need to help fix you. I can't tell you, and this is a full transparent moment, because I used to be the kind of woman that, I smile a lot more now. But back then, I didn't smile a whole lot. That doesn't mean that I was upset. That doesn't mean I was miserable. That doesn't mean that my life wasn't great. I just didn't walk around with a big Kool-Aid smile. And I was often very quiet and to myself. And a lot of people took that as me being upset, as me having issues in my life, as something wrong with me. And what they didn't realize is that I was peacefully existing in my skin. I didn't feel the need to have a whole lot of rah-rah, a whole lot of show. I didn't need to put on a performance for social media. I didn't need to take endless pictures of myself and my family and put us on display as if we were some kind of project. But we were very much being quietly blessed. And people who are used to having their life being a whole mess, but they want to put up a front for other people, they believe the lie before they believe the truth. They believe the gimmick, the facade, before they believe the truth. People like that, I cannot stand. A lot of people who are like that, they are often the ones the most miserable, the most broken. They don't have God. They're always in therapy. They have issues. They're doing all these different things. They're constantly gossiping about people. They're constantly in some kind of mess while they're trying to therapize you, while they're trying to so-called fix you. See, sometimes the problem is them. Sometimes it's not you, it's them. Sometimes, and specifically for women, sometimes women actually do secretly absolutely hate one another. And it's all because some women have this queen bee mentality where it can only be one woman. It can only be one woman at the top. And you see this oftentimes in your workplace. There are a lot of our coworkers and a lot of miserable managers who try to sabotage you on the daily. I have been in many circumstances where I used to work in banking, and a lot of banking is customer service, but it's also sales based too. And you get commissions on different accounts and things like that. And we have paperwork to show those kind of things. I remember one of my female bosses, I got a big commission sale at the bank I used to work for. I got a big commission sale. I filed the paperwork. I did all the stuff right. And when it was almost time for us to be paid out for that commission, I noticed that it was missing. Everybody else's sales were there except for mine. My little sales were there, the little pops that I had, but the big one, it was missing. Now, I know for a fact, and I knew that that female coworker, that female manager, she didn't genuinely like me. She was always saying, she tried to patronize me. Oh, you're this, you're wonderful, you're great. I absolutely appreciate you. You know, the little patronizing, catty little things that women do sometimes. She would do that to me, but I knew for a fact that she didn't genuinely like me. She didn't genuinely care for me. And it was unprovoked. It was because I was the type of woman that could care less if you liked me or not. I was still going to be kind to you. I was still going to talk to you about this business and make sure I got this money, regardless of how you felt about me or not. And because of that, she tried to sabotage me. And this is the reason why, ladies, when you're in the workplace specifically, you must handle jealousy and envy like a queen. And what I mean by that is that you always cross your T's and dot your I's. You take pictures of all of your paperwork. You have a separate file for your paperwork. You make sure you make copies of the things that you do, and you have it in your own little file tucked away. So if you know that you're dealing with a jealous or envious or just outright miserable manager or coworker, you know you have things to back yourself up just in case they try to sabotage you. And this is very important for the workplace. But just in general, going back to the original point, you have some women, they are so miserable in their everyday lives. Because they're miserable, they feel like they need to make a project out of you. They feel like some way, somehow, they want to try to make you a better woman. All because they see in you things that they do not possess. So they might try to use those positive things that are those positive qualities about you. They might very well try to use those things against you. I had somebody actually tell me when I was in my early 20s, I never forget this. I was in a workplace. I've worked in many workplaces, so that's where a lot of my interactions with jealous, envious, miserable women happened. I actually had a person try to tell me, you probably want to scale back a little bit. You don't want people to think that you're coming off as fake because you're being, you're talking to people so much and you're coming off like, you're walking around being too like, I forget the exact word she said, but the point she was making is that you don't want people to, think you're being fake. So you need to scale back your niceness. You need to scale back from talking to everybody. You don't want people to look at you weird here because they're very funny that way. And in actuality, because nobody liked her, nobody talked to her, and I would know for a fact that nobody liked her because I would hear side conversations of people talking about how much of a four-legged animal she was. That's the reason why she wanted me to scale myself back, because she wanted me be in the same little miserable, being disliked club as her. She would actually try to convince me to scale myself back from being nice and outgoing and talking to people, all because she was not that way. You have to be very careful of women who want to make you their project and try to undo the good qualities about you. They want you to be on the defense all the time. They want you to be insecure like them. And this goes back to handling jealousy and envy like a queen. So when she said that to me, I kind of took that as very odd. Thank God that I can recognize game. I can recognize when somebody's being a hater. I can recognize when somebody or something just is not right. And I think knowing me, I just laughed it off and was like, I hear you, that kind of thing, and continued to do me. See, the best thing you can do and how you can handle jealousy, envy, and haters like a queen is to appease them. And what I mean by appease them is to make them think that you're listening to what they're saying and do what you want to do anyway. That's the way I have lived most of my life. When I know that certain things I'm doing are correct and that somebody is just trying to come at me and sabotage the good things that I'm doing, when somebody is trying to dim my light, I simply hear what they're saying, but disregard what they're saying. I do whatever I want to do anyway. I move how I want to move anyway. Regardless of how somebody else is acting toward me, I remind myself that I control the mood. I control the temperature. I control my life. So I make my voice and my self-talk and the way I feel about myself so much louder than the voice of the hater, of the jealous one, of the miserable one. That's the reason why you see a lot of women who seemingly can go unfazed by jealous women or by women, or they can sit in the presence of women that they know don't like them. And I have mastered this. I believe I have. You can see them sit in the presence of women that they know don't like them and still smile and still chit chat, because in that moment, you have to tell yourself, and I know this might not sound good to some people, but you have to tell yourself, you are the queen. You have to tell yourself that you are the one that is stirring all of this cattiness and rah-rahness in other women. And you have to see that as a great honor. You see, when a lot of women see you as a threat, they will do little things and try to say little things to dim your light. But when you handle that toxicity like a queen, you go unfazed by the things they try to do to you. It's not that you don't notice it. Because you notice it, you act accordingly. It's like you have to, and it's not that you think you're better than somebody, but this is a response to people who are coming at you. And sidebar, I think it's unrealistic for a person to expect a woman to remain humble and remain like, so quiet and so, submissive when she's in the midst of being attacked by hyenas. When she's around jealous, toxic, miserable women who seek to bring her down, that is when your queen meter should go up. That is when you handle yourself like a queen. That is not when you shrink over and get all like, I don't know what to do. No, that's when you perk yourself up and you smile even more and you be more assertive, not aggressive, and you talk and still be your nice, kind self. See, jealous women, envious women, miserable women, their whole purpose is to dim your light. They want you to shrink back. And in my own fashion, as the word says, if you shrink in the day of adversity, your faith is small. And dealing with a jealous, envious hater or a miserable person that's trying to make you miserable, trying to dim your light, that is adversity. And if you shrink back and let them have it, you are no better than them. So as a feminine woman, as a confident woman, you have to perk yourself up and still be calm, still be gentle, still be kind, and be direct, and let them know that you see what they're doing and it's not fazing you. You still sit in that environment and let them trickle out. I can't tell you how many environments that God, I believe, has restructured for me. He's removed the haters, the negativity, the jealousy, and all of that. See, what the jealous people and the miserable people don't understand is that anytime you carry positivity, anytime that positive spirit, that godly spirit on the inside of you, you have that, they will be ran out. The light always overcomes the darkness. So they have to be very careful when it comes to playing with a woman who is genuine and love people and genuinely wants to be kind and spread kindness to other people and just be about her business. Jealous, envious, miserable people, they really have to tread lightly, because what they don't understand is that they are absolutely destroying themselves by messing with you. So if you're dealing with a jealous, toxic woman, you need to handle that like a queen. Don't let anybody run you out of an environment, whether it be in your workplace or wherever you find yourself. You do not let jealous women run you out of an environment. You do not let women who seek to dim your light run you out of an environment, especially if you want to be there. Now, if you don't want to be there, fine, leave. If there's nothing in it for you and you can just remove yourself, fine, leave. But when you're dealing with women who are like that and you recognize them for who and what they are, don't let them run you away. You have to make yourself the queen in that situation. And it's not that you walk around belittling people, putting people down, but it's you have to create that image of yourself that I am a woman, I am kind, I am gentle, but I am not to be played with. And you will not get over on me. And that's especially for the workplace. When it comes to your money and your lifestyle, do not let any woman who has jealousy, envy, and she's miserable in her own life, do not let that spread to you. You supersede that with your positivity and with your assertiveness and your directness and your thoroughness. As feminine women with that queen energy, you have to be very thorough when it comes to taking care of your business, especially in the workplace, dealing with those type of women. Look out for yourself, because when you're around bosses or coworkers who are jealous and haters and miserable, they will do little things to try to run you out. And if you want to be there and you have something in it like money, don't let them run you out. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that you are keeping on top of everything you do, so that when that jealous woman tries to sabotage you, you have receipts. That is very important. That's not petty. That's important, especially in the workplace. But ladies, you have to really understand, when another woman is trying to dim your light, it's because she's miserable in her own life. And whatever you do not take advice from a jealous, miserable woman. And that comes from recognizing when you're dealing with a jealous and miserable woman. If she's always appeasing you, you can tell when somebody's being fake nice to you. And when I say appeasement, for us, it's that you're telling them whatever they want to hear, just listening, but do your own thing. But when somebody's trying to patronize you, that's pretty much them being fake nice to you. And you have to be able to pick up on that. Don't let it bother you. But when you recognize when a woman is being fake nice to you, you know how to act around her. You know how to adjust yourself accordingly, and you're not caught off guard when she suddenly turns against you. It's called being able to read a room. It's called being able to read the body language of the people you're around. I believe more people, more women would be saved in the future if they knew how to read a room. And I'm going to do a video on that next, so be on the lookout for that. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Carry that queen energy and know when you're dealing with a woman who is trying to dim your lights, and handle that stuff like a queen. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. Take care.